Back again with another YouTube video. It's your boy YG. Today we're gonna react to 10 best WWE matches of 1995. Let's get right into the video.
If you look up crap wrestling in the dictionary, right next to the picture of Ryback, you will see the Roman numerals for the year 1995. The midpoint of the 90s is widely considered to be the all-time low point of North American wrestling, as both WCW and our friends in the Fed were regularly shoveling cow manure directly into viewers' eyes. So was there any good wrestling going on amongst this onslaught of horror? Thankfully, there was, but mainly due to the efforts of a few usual suspects. I'm Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic Wrestling, and these are the 10 best WWE matches of 1995. Join us! Number 10, Shawn Michaels vs. Owen Hart on Raw.
That sounds like a really good match. Michaels versus Owen Hart.
At first glance, you might think that we've gone mad by including a 12-minute match from Raw that ended in a no contest on this list.
Two good in-ring competitors. He just said it ended in a no contest.
And whilst we have gone mad, I can assure you that this had nothing to do with it. The participants were Shawn Michaels and Owen Hart, an absolutely mouth-watering pairing if there ever was one. HBK was pretty banged up, both in storyline and real life, as this was only a month or so removed from the infamous incident where Shawn got beaten up by a Marine. Although if you ask him, the number of Marines ranges anywhere from 5 to 500. HBK's injuries played into this match, as every time he took a headshot from Owen, he acted increasingly woozier. That didn't stop him from putting on a great show though, as he expertly countered the Blackheart's offense, including a stunning reversal mid-superplex. After taking an enziguri to the back of the head, Michaels collapsed to the floor. The drama of this moment, which was sold perfectly by the wrestlers and the commentary, is what elevates this match to top-tier status, as it was played off like the showstopper might have been legitimately knocked out. Number 9.
So it's book.
Why would we get hit with an ad in the middle of reacting? This usually doesn't happen. Let's reset. 2 ads again? Alright. I can't do with these unskippable ads. I can't do it. Nah. I can't do it, man. I don't want to move on to the next video because then it's gonna. That's not what we're reacting to right now. This is unskippable also? Alright.
You look up crap wrestling, stop him. WWE ran In Your House, the first in a series of shorter, cheaper pay-per-views designed to bridge the gaps between the big uns. Most of the wrestling on this historic night was a bit pants. Mabel vs. Adam Bomb was as cursed as it sounds, with the notable exception of this unique clash. On one side, you had Hakushi, aka iconic Japanese performer Jinsei Shinzaki. On the other, you had Bret Hart, who was, well, he was Bret Hart. Hakushi was criminally underused during his WWE run, a casualty of Japanese wrestling being light years ahead of its American counterparts, but when paired with the Hitman, he finally—
It's a lot of tattoos. I've never seen him wrestle, but I've probably heard of him. I know Bret Hart.
got to show what he was made of. While springboard elbows and moonsaults to the outside are as common as muck these days, in 1995, Hakushi's offense was like—
It does look like they're putting on a good match just by looking at the pictures. And it looks like he's a high-flying wrestler.
something out of a fairy tale. Bret more than held his own against his high-flying foe, acting as a solid base for him to perform his outstanding moveset.
Is he like a King Muta type of wrestler or something like that? King Muta?
Hart ended up getting the win in a match that perhaps needed a bit more story to be truly great, but as a glimpse into the future of wrestling, this is invaluable. If you've not yet seen it, what are you playing at? Number 8, Bret Hart vs. Hakushi on Raw. After suffering his first loss in the Federation to the Hitman at In Your House, Hakushi sought revenge a few months later on Raw. Did he get it? Not exactly. This match, which closed out the July 24th edition of the Monday Night Show, was shorter than their previous pay-per-view encounter, but got off to a furious start when Hakushi jumped his opponent before the bell. Hart was on the back foot right from the get-go, and his opponent did not let up, constantly applying pressure to the pink and black attack and scoring several near falls off increasingly more impressive moves. I mean, he hit a bloody handspring moonsault over the ropes in 1995. These damn youngsters killing the business. Bret always excelled as the underdog, and this was no exception, as he was able to rally the crowd behind him and build to a thrilling finale. He dodged a top rope splash, fired back with a superplex, and then transitioned beautifully into a sharpshooter to...
I figured that Bret was gonna win this match, so I'm guessing he did a high-flying move and then it turned into a sharpshooter.
Score the win. Their first encounter may have been on a bigger stage, but in terms of story and psychology, this one takes the biscuits. Number 7, Bret Hart vs Jean-Pierre Lafitte at In Your House 3 triple header. Our trilogy of Bret Hart having amazing matches with unlikely opponents concludes with the Hitman facing somebody who somehow is still going today. The third In Your House show, retroactively called Triple Header, pitted Calgary's own against Jean-Pierre Lafitte, aka Quebecer Pierre, aka bloody PCO. What an utterly insane man he is. Considering this feud started because Lafitte stole Bret's sunglasses, no, seriously, that's what happened, nobody expected this match to be any good, let alone one of the very best of the whole year. Bret kicked things off by diving onto Lafitte on the outside, but this backfired when the bigger man started chucking him around like he was made of rubber. The action intensified inside the ring as old JP hit all kinds of crazy moves, including a top rope leg drop and a flip dive to the floor. Sorry, you're telling me PCO could do this in 1995 and it took him until like 2018 to truly get noticed? The world is a cruel place. Despite this impressive display, Lafitte was never going to win here. Hart eventually locked in the sharpshooter and the eye patch wearing strongman tapped out, but only after putting in one hell of a shift. Number 6, Diesel vs Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 11. WrestleMania 11 is what we in the business call an...
And this is a good match, I'm pretty sure. I think, yeah, Shawn Michaels won this match.
Absolute disaster. The Allied Powers versus the Blue Brothers, a football player in the main event, the strangest I Quit match ever. These were just some of the atrocities the hard-working public laid down their cash to see. Thankfully, there was one saving grace on this night to forget, and it came from the Clique. Shawn Michaels had won his first Royal Rumble match to set up a world title encounter with former friend and current champion Diesel. In terms of storyline appeal, you couldn't have asked for more, which offered a great excuse to anyone who was only watching for Pamela Anderson at ringside. This is by far and away really the only match on this show that truly deserved a WrestleMania billing. The big man little man dynamic made for plenty of compelling drama, especially as Shawn was the heel and Diesel was the face. Even with help from
Diesel was the face and Shawn Michaels was the heel. It was supposed to be the other way around.
new bestie Sid, HBK couldn't overcome his ex-bodyguard, who hit him with a jackknife powerbomb to close out this excellent match. He probably shouldn't have taken the move like a bag of spuds, but that's mid-90s Shawn Michaels for you. Number 5, Jeff Jarrett versus...
He didn't take the jackknife powerbomb move right. He didn't sell it correctly, or...
Shawn Michaels are In Your House 2, The Lumberjacks. Only Jeff Jarrett could perform a cheesy country song and then have match of the night within the space of an hour. Ain't he great? This was the second In Your House event, subtitled The Lumberjacks, because that was the stipulation of the main event. That match sucked, but the Intercontinental title bout from earlier in the show was a very different story. Double J defended the belt against Shawn Michaels, and the pair wasted no time in getting to the good stuff. The country singer backdropped the boy toy over the top rope early on, and thank God Bill Watts wasn't in charge at the time, otherwise the match would have been over then and there. Jarrett's second, the roadie, who fans may recognise as a certain D-O-double-G, constantly laid into Michael
Road Dogg
when the ref wasn't looking, but this would prove to be Mr. TNA's undoing, as an errant trip from the roadie handed HBK the opportunity to nail a sweet chin music.
Surprised did Jeff Jarrett use his guitar in this match?
And in the process become a 3-time IC champ. A terrific match with plenty of high spots and just the right amount of interference. Michaels Jarrett almost made up for how bad the main event was. Almost. Number 4, Diesel vs Bret Hart at Survivor Series. Diesel's World Championship reign in 1995 was one of the best and most profitable in
This is probably another great match. Diesel versus Bret Hart. Sounds like a good match.
The title's history, according to esteemed wrestling historian Professor K. Nash. Ironically, one of the high points of Big Daddy Cool's reign was the night it came to an end at Survivor Series. His opponent was Bret Hart, and the stipulation was no DQ, as demonstrated by both men turning around and undoing the top turnbuckle as soon as the bell rang. What followed was a dirty, ugly brawl in the best way possible. These two Hall of Famers knocked 7 shades of snot out of each other, including Diesel pushing Bret off the apron and through the announce table, the first time this had ever happened on WWE TV. Yet it was brains that triumphed over brawn as Hart faked an injury to lure Nash in before catching him with a surprise roll-up to end the longest WWE title reign of the decade. A fantastically
He ended his reign is what I'm guessing, okay.
clever end to a match full of great spots and plenty of violence, made even better by the fact that the cameras caught Diesel swearing after he got pinned. Number 3, Diesel versus Bret Hart at Royal Rumble. Of course, Bret and Diesel working well together shouldn't have come as a surprise to anyone who watched the two men work magic many months earlier. At the 1995 Royal Rumble, the Hitman stepped up to try and regain the finish when Shawn Michaels ran into attack. Must lay out actual fish bulldog at In Your House 5
Bret Hart versus British Bulldog. What match did British Bulldog, who did he wrestle? He won. What? He beat someone at WrestleMania. I think it was British Bulldog versus Bret Hart. I could be wrong. I know British Bulldog beat somebody. I think it was either Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania.
Seasons Beatings. The main event of In Your House 5 Seasons Beatings, the greatest name for a Christmas-themed wrestling show ever, by the way, featured two men who knew each other very well indeed, and not just because they were related. Bret Hart had already put on one classic with his brother-in-law, the British Bulldog, at Wembley Stadium 3 and a bit years earlier, and now he needed to do it again, this time over the world title. Davey and Bret were simply incapable of having a bad match together, and this one was no exception. They blended slick wrestling sequences with power moves and submission spots to create a perfectly balanced bout with a great ebb and flow. There was even a hardcore element as Bret busted himself open big time off the steel steps. After a hard-fought battle that could have gone either way, Hart was only able to overcome his sister's husband with a tricky cradle, which made the Bulldog look like an absolute monster even in defeat. If you like the Wembley match, then you need to see this.
It was that match. The one right here, hold on.
Monster even in defeat. If you like
this match right here, British Bulldog won this match. It was at WrestleMania, so yeah, I was right.
The Wembley match, then you need to see this one too. It's very different, but very, very good. Number 1, Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon at SummerSlam. When WWE realised that Diesel versus King Mabel perhaps wasn't the big SummerSlam draw they had hoped it would be, they smashed whatever buttons summoned Shawn Michaels and...
Yes. Two of the greatest. Razor Ramon. I have a Razor Ramon hoodie. Razor Ramon isn't my favorite, but he's one of my favorite, like, underrated. Razor Ramon's underrated. He is.
Razor Ramon to the ring. This led to a bout between the two for Shawn's Intercontinental Championship, despite the pair having had almost no interaction on TV. The number of people who cared about that, though, was precisely 0, as this...
Like, they could have made him WCW World Champion. They could have made him WWF Champion. They didn't do that.
Was a ladder match, the sequel to their epic encounter from the previous year's WrestleMania. These two went above and beyond.
Just IC title.
When they could have just run the Mania match back. Both men dodged each other's finishes early before breaking out the ladders, which unleashed a variety of crazy spots unheard of at the time. There were tumbles, suplexes, and a recreation of HBK's iconic ladder dive from Mania 10, only this time he splattered the canvas Looney Tunes style.
Alright, that was 10 best WWE matches of 1995. Tell me what you guys want to see next in the comments down below. I got more videos coming. Stay tuned, and yeah, Uriah out.